You saw her at Cologne, now you're seeing her here. And if I tell you the amounts of work that went into getting this done, Donna has jumped through every hoop, like 50,000 steps at the Cathedral of Counter-Strike trying to find a quiet place so we could record an episode. Like the amount of work you did, but you did it now. Here we are. When have you slept? What have you done? Like you've been working nonstop and now you're here doing B-side baddies as well. You have blown my mind. I'm so impressed with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Sam. I'm so fried. I can't believe we actually like, guys. If you would know like this in between moment where I'm able to like record something with Sam, like this is like I was like saying yes because we tried so hard to like find this one moment. So you already mentioned how I was like trying in between maps and stuff. So there was a moment where I said like, okay, I could record from my phone. Like first I wanted to record it from the suite we had, like, Ohnpixel in the arena before the match started. But the problem is they played really loud music in the arena, like before they even opened the door. There was like loud music, and it just like with phone I had no noise cancelling. I was like, okay, that's too loud. Then I finally found a quiet place where they do like this like pre-match and loser interviews. But then I realized that I needed phone storage to record on this program, so this didn't work out either. Then we tried when last day when I came to the hotel, didn't work out like time-wise, like it just everything took too long, and obviously Sam also has to sleep. I also have to apologize one more time to you for like moving things all the time around. Oh my God, guys. I got like Sponge's laptop, I got Moses' camera, I had nothing with me, and and Sam was so patient. She's like, okay, we got it, we do it tomorrow. And yeah, now I'm in an in-between zone because I'm on my way to vacation, so I'm just waiting literally for my ride to go to my vacation place. And I got a PC, so I'm very happy about that. And we're here, and sorry for the long intro. Cologne was fucking amazing. I still have to process everything, but I'll try to do that now with Sam together on B-side Baddies, and welcome.
I know that my favorite part was right at the end of the evening when you got Sponge's laptop and you got Moses's camera. The final had been done, and I was like, there ain't no way. Like, we've tried this like 4 times. It's not happening. I take all my makeup off. Like, I'm getting ready to go shower. And then Donna's like, okay, so I think I can record now. And I'm like, no, we can't, friend. Like, we can't.
She's like,
I'm already
about to
putting
go
my
to bed,
PJs
bro.
on. Yeah, I'm like, we're done. So anyway, but we're here. It was so mental watching you run around the way you did for the playoffs. Like, you did so much stuff, and you were teasing to a bunch of things on your Instagram stories. But I got to call you out here because you said there was something cool happening with Oni. I never got to see it. What was going on? Why did this not come up?
Oh my God, I'm so sad, and no, I have to hold back because I don't want to blame any team for that. Okay, listen, One and so ESL asked us if you want to do a skit, and we did a skit, and it's like like this, like the skits they do, like the confession booth.
Those are my
And
favorite, yeah.
yeah, and we made one with One and instead of me being a priest, I said, okay, I'm gonna dress up as a nun. And on top of that, I was like a dark nun. I put like some dark makeup. I was like very strict and like for the beginning, just like, for the vibe to be like, to make it more funny. I think it was really good, but recorded was like kind of funny. And yeah, they couldn't like include it during this weekend in any segments because they had like slots for, I mean, it wasn't done, I think, till the finals because we recorded very late. So that's also on us, but the problem is more that on the finals they had like sponsors and other stuff that they had to include in half times, breaks, whatever. And then I was like, yeah, guys, so how does it look like? Is it gonna get aired? Because we want to react to it. And they were like, yeah, we don't have a slot. Only if it goes to map 4 we can air it. If it's a 3-0 there will be no time. And then I sit there and I see MOUZ choking Ancient, and I knew when I saw that they like lost Ancient after that lead, I was like, I don't know if they can recover from that. And I had like a really, really bad feeling that it's going to be a 3-0. And I was like, oh man. I mean, of course, I felt also bad for MOUZ because I actually was cheering for them. But this was like, oh fuck, watching that Ancient. But we can talk about that later. So yeah, shit happens.
So we didn't get to see it, but the thing is, the skit exists. So
It exists.
can
Maybe they
ESL
will.
give Give it
They
to
gave
us.
it to
Give it
us.
to us. Put
Yeah,
it on the
yeah, yeah.
internet. Yeah. Give it
Yeah,
to Donna. Let her put it up.
so they gave us the skit, and I think Ona will react to it. Yeah, so we will see it.
Let's get into the final though, because this is something that really bugs me, and I'm going to be really mean now. Like, I am mad pissed off at MOUZ. Because I think if you knock out Vitality after that like unbeaten streak, right? You do it in 2-0 fashion. It's like sexy as hell. You're celebrating so much. Like, I watched all the interviews. They were acting like they had picked up the trophy. And at the time I thought, oof, this is a problem. Like, I feel like they've peaked and they don't realize like there is a grand final coming. And then they went in there, and to lose 3-0 like that and just let Spirit sweep. And they just didn't play. They just played on a whole other level against Vitality, and they just let me down. And I wanted MOUZ to lift that trophy so bad, so I'm
Me
just
too.
upset about that.
Me too. Like, of course, you know, it was also nice to see Donk being emotional and everything. We can get back to that later. But for me, I was like, hey, MOUZ, this is your shot. You know, they've always been so close at like these big S tier events, like to, you know, like to beat the, like a top team. And then they like break Vitality's like you know, like no, they didn't break it, but like in a playoffs game, right? That has been like a long time since that happened, and they did this, and on top of that, they lost to Vitality so often, like 7 times in a row, I think.
Seven times, eighth time they finally win. Mental.
Yeah, and then they win, and I'm like, they did it. They got the final boss, their final boss. And then they were like very underwhelming in the finals, and they were like very heartbroken. I could see them right after the loss. Like, I was at the mixed area, like, you know, I felt so bad for them. Of course, I was a bit mad as well, because I was like, you could have done it, you know. Like, Ancient was there. It was just there for the grab. And then losing 3-0. I mean, they're not the first team, to be honest, who lost like 0-3. Like, you know, it happens. But I think it was not the same MOUZ as we saw the day before. And I wish we would have seen the MOUZ from before, because even if they would have lost, maybe at least it would have been like a better fight. This didn't feel like a fight at all. It was like I don't know. I feel like they just like, it was like playing against Vitality was their finals for them, you know? And
That's
this felt
exactly
just like different. I don't know.
It's almost like they had kind of peaked and they were super happy about that. And also bugged me because the one team that I feel like for the first half of this year has had Spirit's number has been MOUZ. Like, they've looked like they can take Spirit down and that they were Spirit's nemesis. And then there was just nothing on their map picks. They just weren't showing up. It wasn't there. I think there was a moment on Ancient, and we can play the clip while I talk about it, where Brollan almost gets the ace. Jimmy comes in right at the end, cleans it up, and that was when they finally sort of got on the board on Ancient, and I went, okay, this is good. We can do this. And then Spirit just mounts this incredible comeback, and I'm like, okay, never mind. Like, why am I here? What am I doing?
Dude, when I watched that, and I was like, and I really thought to myself for a second, like, yeah, there's no way they're throwing this, right? Like, there's no way, and it still happened. I also have to say, like, you felt the mood in the arena. It just like completely shifted, because it felt like the energy was sucked. It felt like it got sucked out of the arena. I swear to God. Like, when they started losing round after round, and it got closer and closer, and all of a sudden, like, it just like felt like, I don't know. It was like we were just like watching an accident, and you know, it was like it fully shifted like the mood. And I know the fans weren't happy about the finals. I know, because like I interviewed fans in between the maps. I interviewed them after the Ancient map, I think, or after the first map. I'm not sure anymore, or both. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you know, feels a bit like low energy, and you know, not the same vibe as Cologne gives them usually." I don't know. It's like, I feel like the energy, the mood wasn't there either, you know?
Do you think that's because, so the day before, I mean, so for me watching Vitality MOUZ,
That was amazing.
that was insane. Like that was just, I mean, but the stakes were so high. And I think Apex did a post-match interview on the desk on the main broadcast. And one of the things he said, which I really like, it resonated with me, and I felt it. Like, he said, obviously, he didn't feel Vitality played to the level they should have. But he also said, sometimes it just comes down to who wants it more. And MOUZ really, really wanted it today. And it felt like that when I was watching it. Like, they just looked like they had got on that stage and gone, today is the day that we beat you. They were this cohesive unit. They were playing such good CS. And I wonder if like, and you
beautiful.
could tell me, it was beautiful, but like you must have seen this. The fans get to watch that. They see history, because it is history making, right? You've just sort of stopped Vitality in their tracks. You come into the grand final day going, okay, we're going to see Spirit. Donk is our generational superstar. Like it's just insane what he's done at 18, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But you expect MOUZ to now come and bring what they just bought, and that hype that they had. I mean, like the post-match interviews with MOUZ were insane. Like everyone was so excited. Spinks didn't hold back with you. Like he was just spinning facts for days. You were expecting that on grand final day. So when you don't get it, it doesn't feel like a grand final, right? They brought you up here. That you want to stay up here, and now you're going down.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. So semifinals was fucking amazing. Like the mood, even before the match started, like when Vitality entered, it was like, you could feel it. Like the people were so hyped and hungry for that match. And even before, like I went to the arena very early on Saturday, because Saturday I had like a super long day. It was like a 12-hour day. I had like some activations before the event. And I had to get in there like at 11:30 or something. And people were like literally at fucking, like it was not even lunchtime. And they were like already chanting and singing, like the Vitality fans, and like hyping themselves up. And I was like, okay, dude, chill. Like there's like 5 more hours to go. Calm down. But it was such a great day. Like Saturday for me, the semis was like, the fans were so hyped up. That during the match was amazing, and also witnessing I will not call it a miracle, but I think
it was
a lot
a
of
miracle.
people, I think that a lot of people expected that MOUZ would beat them, and it was beautiful. I love that MOUZ played amazing. The fans were hyped and happy, and and then finals, it was just like, okay, so we're here now, I mean, of course, it was like there were good moments. I don't want to take that away from the finals, obviously, but for me, the semis were much more a much better experience overall.
I kind of get that, and I think that it's disappointing in a way, but also like I want to just focus in on the good stuff, because for me, watching from home, like watching MOUZ beat Vitality was just. And I'm like alone, right? I made like a little Katemba. I have my puppy on my lap. My significant other's got into Warhammer, so he's off painting I call them his war dollies. And I'm just locked in and going, after the first, so they win the first map and I'm just like, that's chilled. And then as the second map is like sort of going, and I'm like, holy shit, this is happening. And I think that's one thing people don't appreciate when you're watching at home. Like it's so much cooler when you're in a stadium with fans, because you can turn to your friend and be like, what is happening? Whereas I'm like alone in my bed, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, who am I gonna? Like this is insane. And not only that, like even I don't think Vitality was playing at the level they should have been playing at, but they still had like epic moments. I think there was the ace that Ropz pulled on the eco, which he should never have done.
That's just what you wanted to see. Ropz, the discrepancy. How's he gone through that? Wait, get away! Ropz is in the summer. This is monstrous. Oh my god! 4 members of MOUZ just left on the battlefield, scattered! It's all 5! The ace from Ropz on eco! No right to win that one!
That was disgusting.
Ropz, man, this guy.
And I'm like screaming at I've got it on the TV in my room, and I'm just screaming at it. I'm like, this is cool. I also really loved, I don't know if anyone saw the skits about the Porsche, where they he arrives with the Porsche after the major. That was a very ESL for me does like the best skits. That's why
I love the ESL skits. Yeah,
they're super funny. They did this whole thing with the Porsche arriving and then Apex being upset, and like I love what they do to like create this whole mood. So I can imagine 100%. What it's like in the arena. But we do have to talk. I want to talk about the Spirit NAVI semifinal, because I did feel like close. In the first half of the year, NAVI looked really bad. I'm just gonna say bad. Like they did look bad. It was kind of. I was disappointed. I'd just be like, what is wrong with you?
I literally said that to him in the face. It was so funny. But the good thing is he took it like, if you know players, like what you can say and what you can't say. And I was like, literally, like, we interviewed him, and then I said, like, yeah, like, it has been a time since you won a match on a big stage. And he's like, what do you mean? We won something. And I was like, yeah, it was when? And he's like, Kato. And I was like, that's a long time ago. What did you do since then? And he raises his eyebrow. He's like, wait, maybe she's right.
And you just won the game on the stage, so you're going to play semis. Anything you want to say to the fans? I mean, you haven't played in semis for some time now. On a big stage.
We played
When?
in Kato this year.
That's a long time ago, bro. Like, that was last
But that's not me speaking.
Okay, I'm getting bullied. I don't like.
But, it's just like, we expect more from NAVI, I mean, I think we finally saw, like, their potential again, with the game against Spirit. Even though they lost, they looked so much better, like, than before. And, like, also just, like, making it to the semis, I think, I don't know. I think NAVI's going, like, getting back in shape maybe again.
I think so. I mean, I do think that they should never have lost Mirage. I feel like they gave that one away. I actually think that they could have beaten Spirit 2-0. I wonder if they got in their heads, because I always feel like NAVI always, in the first half of the year, like every time they went up against Spirit, they just looked bad. Like Spirit would just roll over them. And then this was the first time where I was like, okay, you don't look bad. This is good. Like NAVI looks revitalized. It looks a bit different. And then Mirage was just like, for me, it was silly mistakes. And then I was like, why are you doing this? And I wonder if that was a bit of like nerves. I don't know, the donk superpower that he has with NAVI. But then, I mean, I think I saw the bit 1v2 where it's like a very, like, I wouldn't even call it a highlight, but for me, when I watched that, he's a bit still alive. He plants the bomb. It ends up him and Chopper 1v1. Chopper commits to the defuse. He can't get off the defuse, but takes him down. And it was just in that moment where I went, okay, we didn't, like, there's a chance, because it got NAVI back into the game. They got some rounds on the board, and that was, I think it was on Ancients, and that was it. They still lost, but there was that moment where I was just like, okay, we've taken Spirits we've taken them this far. Like, I think this change is good. I think NAVI looks good. I think this is better than what we were expecting. So I'm hoping that this is the start of something good for this team, because I like NAVI.
Yeah, I like them too, and I hope so too. And I have to say, I think also like their newest addition, Makazi, I think he did really well. If you think about like that, it was like his first event, like his first big event at all. Like he came from NAVI Juniors, right? And now he's like at the fucking Cologne stage. It's like, there's like one thing. Let's say like if you would start like, I don't know, like Blast online, whatever, or like EPL or a group stage, still like of course different level than what he played before. But no, yeah, okay, you're at the Cologne playoffs, bro. It's just like whatever. And I think he performed very well, and I think we could see the potential there. And it was like a bit frustrating to see that they could have won, but fumbled in the end. That was really frustrating. I also talked to Makazi a bit, and he was very disappointed. He was like, I was like, yeah, you played very good, great debut. And he was like, yeah, but we threw, So it overshadowed like kind of like his debut, and that's so sad, But on the long run, I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with him.
So am I. I think that they're a team that maybe this is the revitalized moment. But talking about rookies, obviously, it's Zwe's first time on a big stage. I think there was a graph that like Pimp pulled up where it was like all the players that made the playoffs, and like I think it was just the semis and the finals, and like the graph of how many times they've been on the stage. And then the graph is like this, and then all of a sudden all the way down there is Zwe with his one time that he's been on the stage. But I felt like it was kind of fitting that in the third map, the final shots is a 1v1 with Zwe. I mean, it was super easy. There was nothing fancy about it, but he comes around and he gets to make the final kill that wins them Cologne. I was like, that's just like, for me, because I'm like the soft, squishy part of me is like, that's so sick. Like, that's your memory for the rest of your life. Like
scripted.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was scripted, right?
Yeah. And then, what I really loved, and this was like so heartwarming, like when Donk was like, when they showed the camera to Donk, and then he was like, holding back his, like, he was like, getting tears in his eyes and like being so emotional. This was like, and the arena, I don't know, they were like, they felt with him. So this for me, like these moments were really better than the whole finals, the match on like the match itself. There's like little moments, and that was so wholesome, because I think not even at the major. I think he didn't really cry, or at least like I don't remember it. And like there, he was just like, I don't know. You could see how much it meant to him, and you were like, even if you didn't cheer for them, you could feel with it, you know?
Did it surprise you? Because so for me, like for the last few tournaments, when I've watched Donk do interviews, I've actually got a little bit annoyed with him.
Oh,
because
okay. Why?
and because it always feels like he's trying to do this like cool guy act where like someone will ask him a question and he'll just be like, I don't care. I don't like he does that thing or like when they won PGL Astana.
He's an edgy teenager, like
Yeah,
just like
he's
how
trying to
they
be
are
an
all are.
And he would do this thing, and I kind of was like, dude, I don't like you. Like right now, like you're phenomenal, and like watching you in the server is blowing my mind. But I don't like this, like this edgy, like it's not cool. Like you're pissing me off. And then I see him standing, and it's that like it's going to be the most iconic photo. It's going to be like the get right crying on the floor photo where his hands, like his head is in his hands, and he's just staring at the trophy, and like. The whole thing there, like I know Sharks is walking around interviewing and he's just completely locked in, and then they all leave the stage and he's sitting down there and Chopper's like crouched next to him and he's crying. And in that moment, I was like, I know. And it was just that moment where I was like, I don't give a shit about all your interviews in the past. I don't care about the I don't care, because you do care. Like, like look at how much emotion.
Of course
and
he
like,
cares. No.
He's 18, man. He's been doing this for like less than 2 years at this level, and he's got every big trophy.
Yeah, every big trophy, the amount of MVPs. This kid is insane. He has done things in less time than a lot of like star players in years, and it's fucking impressive. And you just like have to respect that, you know, like if you're a Spirit fan or not, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just like if you love CS. And if you have a passion for CS, then you have to respect these people, because you literally like this is like a generational talent, you know. And you're like right now witnessing it, you know. And it's like, and he's still like kind of like in the beginning, dude. Like I don't want to know what's gonna happen like 1 or 2 years, you know.
I also, because I mean, obviously everyone tries to do these comparisons, and now you're always hearing like the next donk or whatever. And I just want to like shout. I'd be like, there ain't no other donk. Like what we just got.
He's unique.
He's unique, and he's changed the game. Like, yes, there will. Yeah. There'll be players that will come, and maybe they'll be better, and maybe they'll have incredible aim. But like, he set the bar, and we'll talk about this for years to come, and we will be talking about it for years to come, because the dude's still going to be playing. Like, he's got a good few. He's 18. Like, this is his start. It's crazy for me. That, like, I think if I had to sum up my favorite moment, there's two actually. I'm lying. My favorite moment was Donk crying, which just made me feel really good. And then my second favorite moment was when they announced that IEM Cologne next year is going to be a major, because it is the best venue, it is the best place, it is perfect for a major, and damn straight that needs to happen next year.
And you were alone when they announced that. You could not even hug anyone.
I was actually sitting in this room being like, I wonder if Don is going to be able to record straight after this.
Yeah, so for me it was like, I mean, I knew it already because a lot of people knew and or assumed.
I thought it was. I kind of knew, because like obviously if you work in the scene, you've heard the rumors.
Things, yeah.
So when they said there was an announcement coming, I was like, oh, they'll announce it. But it's not the same as, like, you hear it, but it's when it gets announced and it's just confirmed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So for me, like, it was not a surprise, but it was still like my heart started beating faster, because it was like the way they made it was very epic, and the reaction. It was like the reaction of the community. That was so fucking memorable. Like, I will not forget this. And like, I'm trying to record, like, you know, like cool moments like this. And there I recorded a little bit delayed, because I didn't want to be distracted. I just wanted to be there and like, you know, like catch this moment for a second and look around the faces. And then after like 2 seconds, then I pull up my phone, and then I recorded something so I can post it on Insta. And I caught it at the perfect moment. Like, I was just like, you know, recording around, like people still cheering. And I just like see two friends, and they just look at each other like this, like, oh, and then they just like go and hug each other. And they're like, let's go. Because they were so happy. I'm sure they were Germans, you know, that's why I'm probably like extra happy, because like next major in Germany. But dude, this was so wholesome. Like, I loved that I caught them like this, you know. And I don't know. I live for those moments. It's fucking amazing, and it's also cool, of course, that we have a Cologne Major. It was about time. I still like Cologne, one of my favorite events, but I love that they did this like live, the announcement, and you could see the reactions. This was very, very memorable, and I think in general we have a very unique and special community with all shades. Good and bad ones. I mean, there were some incidents during Cologne.
So yeah, I was gonna ask about this because obviously, so they announced the major, but they don't put any. There's no crowd microphones on. I wonder why. And then it crosses to Stunner, but you can't hear the crowd, and I'm well aware of why that's happened because obviously during the course of this they had some issues. So like I couldn't get from home. I got a bit frustrated because I couldn't get a feel for like what the audience felt because you didn't get that noise. Like it was a bit silent.
Yeah.
And that was like the one thing I was going to say to you. Like what was the reaction when they announced it? Was it like an uproar? Was it excitement?
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, an uproar. Like, you know, it was like
That's insane.
everyone like screaming and like, yeah, like at the same time it was like, I was not even aware that you could not hear it. Look, I didn't know because I was like, I didn't watch the stream yet. I mean, I will not watch it like fully, but I wanted to rewatch some moments, but I didn't even know that you could not hear everything. This was
You couldn't hear the crowd.
No, the whole,
Yeah.
it was like shaking, like so many people like being excited and cheering, and that was so good. And I feel bad for people at home if you didn't like really get the feeling
You
and
didn't
get the
get
vibe.
that.
It was
So, like,
beautiful.
Stunner came on stage and he was like, "What do we think about that Cologne?" But then if you rewatch the stream, and maybe I didn't get it. Like, so there was you couldn't really hear the crowd at the time. I just started giggling because I was like, I'm presuming they don't want to risk having like massive crowd. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the case. He did go into the crowd then and like start asking people, but you missed the raw, which you get at a live event,
Yeah.
right? That like feeling where everything moves. Like we didn't
Yeah.
get that, and that was a little bit shit. But I mean, that was just because, you know, they started the playoffs with some people being
Yeah,
little
that-
edgelords. Like,
Bro, that is so stupid. Like, why would you do that? I think that people just try to get the stream banned and say like, hey, we got the stream banned or something, you know? Or they were just like really just like stupid racist or something. But yeah, like the slurs, and there's also something I didn't really realize what happened until like later when I saw stuff on Twitter, because if you don't watch the stream live, it's different, right? Like if you don't watch it, I mean on at home. But yeah, I saw some clips and I was like, Jesus, wow. Also the stuff that happened to Machine, like bro, this was like not funny at all. And I think, guys, props to fucking Machine. How can he be so calm? And like the way he is with his like, he's like, you know, just like, oh, okay, we're saying that now, you know? I'm like, dude.
that was
like,
at that. So let's just, that was an HLTV
award show,
confirmed.
yeah,
right?
sorry.
So
I didn't explain. Yeah.
Yeah, so someone puts, they're on a pod, like they're doing, I think it was HLTV confirmed.
HLTV,
Some guy,
confirmed, yes.
yeah,
With
some
fans.
guy, yeah, Machine's there. You can come and watch. Some guy wants to ask a question. I'm not even going to entertain it with repeating the question, but it was basically just like a complete racist comment straight at Machine. Like this
Towards
dude
Machine,
thinks he's,
yeah.
like he thinks he's being funny. But I'm like, dude, you're okay with standing up in a room full of people? Like, what was the point? You wanted to, like, were you trying to get him upset? Like, what was the point? Machine is like,
I think,
he's super chilled, but
Yeah.
I'm presuming they kicked the guy out afterwards. I don't know what happened after
Dude,
that, but I was just like,
didn't actually
what
ask,
the
but
fuck?
I don't know if they kicked him out, but either he tried to upset him or he actually thought it was funny and people would laugh. But I'm just like, dude, you know, I have like, I would say I'm like very chill when it comes to humor. I laugh about a lot of shit and I have a dark sense of humor, but there's lines, you know, and this was just like weird. It wasn't like not funny. It was, I don't know, it was so disrespectful, and I think Machine handled it so well. I could have not, I don't know what I would have said in his place, but he did it so well. But yeah, all these incidents together, of course, like they had like a negative effect, I would say as well, that you're like, why do people do that? But I still think we have to focus on the positive, you know. If you think about that, it was like a handful of people doing some shitty things, but thousands of people who just like had a great time. I met people that I interviewed that became friends through Counter-Strike, going to the event, meeting for the first time. I met two people you know, when One had his Drillers team, and I did the jersey launch back then for him, together with Big, and it was like a limited edition, and only there were like 500 of like blue jerseys being sold, and it was like sold out within like 5 minutes. So only like a handful of people, like 500 people, not a handful, got them. And these people wore the jerseys, like the people who went to Cologne, they had the Driller jerseys, and they saw each other in the jersey. They were like, oh, I recognize you. I recognize you. And then they meet each other and become friends. Like, I literally interviewed 2 guys, or like 3 guys in Driller jerseys, and I'm like, did you come here together? And they're like, no, we became friends here, and we recognize each other through the jerseys. And now they like stayed in touch. They're gonna play CS, and that is so fucking cool, bro. And I'm just like, it's not just like this is just an example, but in general, like I think we still have to focus that even if we have like shitty people in the community, toxic people, whatever, there's like so many friendships that have been built in the scene, in this community, and so many like wholesome people who really love the game, who want to be part of the community, and I'm glad that we are much more than
I love
the
that.
assholes.
Yeah, I love that though, because I think, I mean, there was obviously, I always see this and it kind of like pisses me off when people that aren't involved in competitive Counter-Strike, like someone would see the clip and then they feel that they need to say something. And like, I have a really dark sense of humor. I make terrible jokes, but I draw the line at racism. Like that's just not happening. The fact that it happened is disgusting. But I don't think it's fair to turn around and say, oh, well, that's Counter-Strike, because I don't think that is Counter-Strike. I think the story you spoke about with like the friendships that are built in the communities, like that's what it's actually about. And if you had to interview every single person that was in Cologne, in the cathedral for the grand final, I would say 99% of the stories would be those positive ones of how we've built this community and how close we all are. And then there's just 1% of idiots who are desperately trying to either be famous or upset someone so that they can say they did. Like, we don't have to, like, just don't give them any more airtime. Fuck those guys. You know?
I think it's okay to address it, but we don't have to give, you know, like, I think this should not be something where people would be like, oh, remember, like to remember something bad about an event like this, because it was still overall a great event. And one more thing about like wholesome moments. I met, so it was also crowd interviews. One guy, he called me over. He said like, "Hey, can you come here, meet my mom?" And I was like, "Okay." And she spoke German, but not so well English. So I spoke more German to her. And then, so she went there with her son. And I said, "Why did you go to this like event?" And she said like, "Yeah, she plays Counter-Strike too." And I'm like, "No way!" And she started playing Counter-Strike 2 years ago. Because her son loves Counter-Strike so much, so she started like playing it too, so she can play with him. That is so sweet. That is so cute.
The coolest. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and then,
that's wholesome as fuck. Yeah.
And I'm like, so are you good at the game? And then you just like see the son over there, it's like
oh, she's terrible.
But she plays for fun. And then she was. I love this. Then she said, Counter-Strike is for all generations. She said and she says like, look, I love this event. All generations are coming together, young and old, That was so sweet. And then she said like, men and women. And then she was looking at me and she said like, yeah. And then she said like, I don't think she said that in German, like, women of all generations, go grab your guns and play CS. I was like, that was so sweet. Like she was really like invested, and I love that. It was so like, I don't know, just like something that I will always remember, And I think the people who watch this live as well.
I think so. I think that basically sums up Cologne for anyone who's ever been there or just watched it at home, right? It's just that community. We're all getting our guns and going to go play Counter-Strike. I know that you now need to get your ass on holiday. So we're going to have a bit of a short one. We're going to call it. But thank you. I love that we made this happen.
Thank you. And thank you for your patience. I love that we got it done somehow. And you guys, of course, feel free to comment, feedback, whatever. We're probably gonna make a next episode when I'm back. So I'll be gone for like, I think 10 days. And then after that, we can record something, Sam. So might be maybe no video for like 2 weeks, but we will survive. You will survive. I'm excited about this podcast. I love that Sam and I can just like share our stories and opinions and everything. And you guys are part of it. So yeah, thank you for watching.